Elijah, it's so good to have you back, my friend. How are you? Part two, the first person to officially go part two here on Axie Tuesday. So congratulations in order there, Elijah. You're a stud. You're a standout in many a regard, making a repeat appearance here, taking first place at the first event on this preseason of the Axie Grant. You kicked some ass, took some names. You and Azarian in an epic 5-game best of 5 for that final series. Overall thoughts? How did the tournament feel? Congrats on, what was it? Was it 50 AXS first place, something like that?
I think I butchered the tweet because on community gaming it said prize, and on my name it said 100 Axis, so I tweeted that. My bad. It's 25 Axis, but it's honestly more about competing against the best than the money for me. That was just I was kind of inspire people like this is where we're heading, and 25 Axis for a tournament is nothing to scoff at. But yeah, great prize, great, very well run. Chief and AX did an amazing job, so I was honored to be there and had to work hard against that competition to book that W.
Yeah, I'm. I mean, that's nice. You could be more critical though. I'm curious to hear your thoughts about like current balance. I mean, so crits are like on the top of my brain right now. That was the overwhelming feedback. I gotta throw it out there because it's no secret. Most people said, "Hey, this was awesome," but because Indes was eliminated by some crit RNG, I think Indes was astute to point out, hey, I made mistakes that got me into a position where these crits, like, put me in a spot where I could be eliminated. But yeah, there were a couple moments where like, man, that was a lot of crits in a row, just like in general, not just specifically for one player. Just wow, that's we need some like pseudo random distribution here or something at the very least. I don't know. So anyway, critical thoughts. How did you feel about the tournament? How do you feel like is Axie version 1 esport ready? Talk to me about the pay to win element, the skill level required to take an event like that.
Yeah, is it esports ready? I mean, I think we're pretty close. I mean, we're arguably right there considering the buzz, the traction, how quickly the tournaments are filling out, the influx of new players, the interest. I'd say if we're not already there, we're closing in on it, and there's a bright future ahead, no doubt. Crits as a feature, in my opinion, I've been outspoken about it for some time, and I'll be even more so here now. Axie Infinity is an extremely difficult game to be consistent at, to win at a high level at. There are margins this thin for getting to the top or, competing in arena at a high level. So the amount of effort that goes into like reading your opponent and X, Y, and Z to get your face crit off in the end when you have a game on lock is a very brutal way to go out, and I think unjustified. And I hope it gets corrected. I don't have the solution, what their place should be. Beasts obviously aren't that great because of how fragile they are already. So in the current meta, you're not seeing a bunch of beasts. It's a lot of aquas, reptiles, these beefy axies that do high damage as well. So crits are kind of important for them.
Yeah.
All that being said, I know we can improve on it. Unfortunate for Indes. I think the backdoor shrimp lamb crit was just a shocker. I mean, we all were were like, are you kidding me? Wow. So I think he's being a bit humble with saying, he made mistake. I don't disagree. I do think he was kind of stubborn and hung up on running his traditional 2 aqua or a variant of it and didn't try to really deviate. And then hats off to Azarian. He's been crushing and grinding and streaming from the beginning when we both started 7 months, 8 months ago, maybe a little longer. But yeah, it was, I'm serious. It was, I mean, I know I'm biased. We ended up getting there, but I mean, I enjoyed it from start to finish. Yeah. There weren't really any hiccups for me. Let's see. You asked me something else. Balance. You want to, you asked me something.
It was a loaded question. You're totally right. So we can stay kind of focused on crits than migrate. I do want to talk about skill on 2 levels. One, what the skill it takes to play, and then maybe skill, like the mechanic in the game, right? Like Axies have HP, speed. A lot of people forget that they have skill because I think most people actually pop quiz. What does it do? That stat on Axies.
I was gonna ask you, Zyori. You tell
I
me.
actually know because I cheated and had a conversation with somebody about it yesterday. So, and it was Indes, newsflash. He educated me. But the more skill you have, the more added damage it gives to Axies on like
Like combo.
it's like a range, right? Yeah, when they
Yeah.
combo, but it's so it's supposed to be like a damage buff where it's like morale is additional chance to crit in theory. So skill is like this spread of extra damage done if you're playing like a crazy combo of cards altogether. So it doesn't seem that impactful. I forget what the numbers are, but they're not that high. So it just doesn't seem like they give you like significant breakpoints, or I guess to most players it feels like the math is not worth doing for the amount of difference it makes. Is that kind of a fair way to frame it?
It's not worth doing for me.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I? I got enough math to deal with. I don't know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I guess skill I have less of a thought about. I guess with morale, I'm not terribly upset that beasts have a niche, and like getting crit by a beast maybe feels a little bit less bad sometimes than those like the aqua or reptile crits. I think that's the stuff that feels very like, damn, this aqua's already sick. If it had a 0% chance to crit, it would still be pretty good. It would still do a lot of useful stuff. When it gets it, it just feels like a pure bonus. It almost reminds me of, you ever play Super Smash Brothers? Like the second one, Brawl, the one that was anti-competitive because it had the trip function. And if you don't know what this is, it's like if you're playing each other, your character, every time you move, I forget if it's 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 1,000, but your character just has a chance to fall over. And like you take a moment where you're like vulnerable and you can get, popped in the hitbox. If you're playing on a pro level, that's like, wait, what the fuck just happened to my character? Why'd he fall over? What, Bowser tripped on his own shoelaces? Are you kidding me? Yeah, that's just like a weirdly random anti-competitive mechanic. And I feel like aqua crits remind me of those vibes a little bit,
Oh, 100%. Aqua crits. How about when your plant crits the other plant's face off in round 1 with a cactus? Rip. I mean, like, what the hell is that? Like, yeah, I think you're right about beasts. The thing is, they suck kind of, in my opinion, because how many beasts can you put on a backline? None, basically, because there's everything's backdoor shrimp, this backdoor reptile. So, if they crit you in the early to mid game, they're kind of deserving because of how much they're going to get smoked as soon as your plant is gone. Mm-hmm. So it balances that a bit. All the other ones, it's just doesn't make sense.
Let me throw an idea by you that's maybe a little more elegant. What about some sort of formula where morale, maybe it's not a sliding chance to crit, but it's a sliding amount of damage with the crit. So it's like maybe aqua crits are only 120%, whereas like a beast crit might be 200%, like a true 2x or something. I guess that's what I mean. Like a 2x on a beast crit, like a 1.2 on an aqua, and maybe the bottom is like 1.1. So there's a sliding spectrum. Does that help? Does that solve things if aqua crits are 1.2x and beasts are 2.0? Sort of pulling those numbers out of thin air, but I think you see what I'm.
Well, 1.2x. Do you mean like 20% of the damage they would have dealt?
Yes. So it's like, maybe a sliding scale where the Axies with the lowest possible morale would have like a 10% bonus when they crit, or like a 20% bonus when they crit, and the maximum morale, like the highest morale possible beast, they would be like, I think, what is it now? It's a 2x, right? It's 100% extra. Yeah. So I would say that's the ceiling, and everybody who's now below the ceiling, we scale down, and we can calibrate the floor however you want. Maybe aquas are 1.5, right? Like, I don't know the exact numbers, but the idea is that instead of everybody going 2x with their crit damage, we scale it so that morale is a little more meaningful than just a chance to crit, but like an actual multiplier of the crit. Does that make sense? Did I explain that well?
Yeah, you explained it fine. It's an idea. I don't love it. It would be an improvement. The problem is still the issue of, wow, I just made the sickest outplay of my career in this tournament the round prior. Now we're in this 1v1 my aqua versus his, and I know I cannot lose. I earned this position. He'll hit me with this 4-card combo, but I can survive it. I position myself to win. Mm-hmm. Bam. 20% more damage. That's how thin the margins are. Like,
well, and especially with like everybody's playing around Cuckoo and this like kind of weird buff meta, right? 20% crit is a lot more if you've got these buffs and it's like it hits breakpoints, I guess. So you're right. It's still, it doesn't really matter. It still ruins games. All right, what if it scales the percent chance to crit then? Again, I don't know what the numbers are. Whatever the beast's chance to crit with the highest morale, do you just get rid of it at that point? Do you make it like some Axies just have a 0% chance to crit? Would your ideal solution be there's no crits and then beasts just have some sort of new thing that morale does to give them some sort of an edge?
That'd be my ideal. My ideal would be there's no crits, but because beasts rely on them and the other traits of them are so measly, other than the damage, the throughput, the damage power, it's sort of built into them as a class, and I'd be okay with it. So I think, you know, a reworking of their system or their cards or something along those lines where we know that with beasts, you know, we have this crit potential, and there's a bunch of different ways you could explore that. And I think that that'd be cool. It would make it like, damn, beasts are now are really
a real niche. Yeah.
Niche. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame that we don't have like another mechanic for like true attack speed within a turn, because in a lot of other games, that's how you normalize crits. Like you think like Dota or League of Legends, there's a lot of characters in those games that are super reliant on crit. Like, is it Katarina or whatever? Like Phantom Assassin. They're like Ogre Magi, where it's dice rolls. Like there's RNG just caked into the hero, but they're calibrated in a way that it doesn't feel like obtusely broken. So like I feel like there's a way. Like crits aren't just inherently a terrible, terrible game mechanic, but I don't. Maybe I'm just not the right game designer to be able to identify this. It's complicated.
It is complicated, but they're not a terrible game mechanic if properly delegated. Like, you know, yeah. I think there's a way to work them in where things don't. You're not immediately in huge trouble when you get the unlucky round one crit, or in the very end game. At really any point, it can be devastating, absolutely devastating, and totally undeserved. So I just think when you're talking about something that's competitive, can we jump real quick?
Sure.
I know we didn't come up with a solution there, but we're talking about it, and that's good.
Well, you want to jump to something else? You got a topic here?
So our boy here in the chat, Mostaza.
Yeah.
They're not going to talk about Gravelant. Okay.
Well, we can talk about Gravelant. Sure.
We can talk about it.
What do you have to say about Gravelant?
How many players in the top 100 are running Gravelant?
Oh, all right. Pop quiz. I'm gonna go.
Isn't there a stat out there somewhere?
Probably. I think on Axie Zone you might be able to look that up.
I don't know the last time it was updated because it was lagging in like terms of connectivity, but I can tell you that the answer is very low, and I can tell you
I was going to guess 5%. That would be my figure. And
I can tell you the answer of, and this isn't a shot at you. This is just like we can discuss it. You know, here's what's more of a priority for sure. Maybe 5% if we, you know, it might be the gravel number. How about the Terminator number or the Shrimp with Garish number? It's like 50%. I mean, it's like 50%, and then the other vast majority is going to be backdoor reptiles with grass snake. So the meta is so wonky and lopsided in favor of that the game kind of sucks right now in Arena. And that's just because those builds do not require very much thinking. You get your combos, you play them, that's it. You burn your opponent to death with the poison. And you know, for a zero cost to just in the beginning of the game to inflict that much of a death mark, like, oh shit, my backline's gonna die, you know, unless I build a Biden's team, which then you're gonna suck versus the other high powered. You know, there's quite a bit of Beast Bird out there. There's quite a bit of double Aqua, right? These are the archetypes, but the one that's most powerful for sure is right now the Shrimp and the backdoor poison. So now we at Crit Theory are working very hard and doing really well and having success in building balanced teams to counter it. obviously that's why we're still up there, and we have a lot of talent here as well. So I just think that's a bigger issue for people trying to climb. Once you get to the really competitive level, start facing that with any kind of team that's how do I say it? Maybe not like a half ETH. Those teams are like over an ETH, right? Those are like $5,000, $6,000 teams that people are willing to pay just to get clout or whatever, climb, have easy games.
Yeah.
So I think that's a bit off, and I think it'll get adjusted. I think it's a fleeting meta. That's an example of a fleeting meta. Right. So if you're thinking you're going to go out and get that and be good for the next multiple seasons, be prepared to have your investment like that one could fall off a cliff, but that's what you sign up for when you're willing to go for something that cheesy. It's kind of the trade-off.
Right. No, definitely. And with the deeper prizing in AXS and like relative to this season, I mean, I think we know for sure. I feel very comfortable saying this. I think there's not going to be a balance patch before this season ends, right?
No,
so like there's a world where you could try that gamble and maybe it's worth it to try to get top 1,000, get some of that AXS, and then who knows? But you're certainly right. People should be wary. I think it's. I mean, even Jihoz said he would have loved to put a balance patch into this season, but it just would have been too much because we have so much going on. So reading between the lines there, that probably means there's some notes coming.
To anyone in this 130 people watching right now, I know you're legit for being here. And little tip, I'll probably put this in a YouTube video. A Biden's plant up front is massive for beating that shit. And it's because your plant is usually your closer versus those builds. Those reptiles, they can't be in all places at once. They leave the plant hanging mostly, but the poison's so deadly that when they redraw it, if you don't have a way to clear it, your plant is also gonna, in the end game, not be enough. But if you have even a classic hot butt cactus, normally pumpkin serious tank, and just get the Bidens, which is a 0 cost to also avoid the chomp stuns in the late game, you put that on any balanced build, 2 aquas, whatever you want, beast reptile, your chances of winning go up exponentially, because I'm not running multiple Bidens right now. I'm running one up front and a very balanced build, and I'm doing really good against those. So that's my recommendation to the exclusive group here. Okay. And yeah, that's how I approach it.
I have a slightly specific question. I noticed, and maybe this is just because, you need like that lens of the deeper knowledge to really appreciate esports. So the tournaments that I watched before the esports grant, I was still a little too new to really appreciate all the nuances. This time I noticed it seemed like there was an abundance of dual blades, especially these like dual blade aquas and stuff. Is that a tournament thing? Has that just been a thing for a while? Did you notice that as well? Am I kind of crazy here? Is that just because people are hyped? Is that a sign that crits are busted, that we got aquas with dual blades just popping out?
It's not a sign crits are busted,
okay,
because it doesn't affect the morale on aquas too much. It's more of a very quality balanced build where you're not overcommitted. So the thing is, like a few seasons ago, the Indes and AK double aqua, the original, was like all aqua parts, still tons of firepower, but it was like sponge and some other high damage at the mid, and then koi and all aqua piranha in the back. But that was also when piranha did 130 damage, so that shit was like very strong.
Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is with the dual blade or the pliers or the other high damage beast bug cards out there, it's just a really high quality amount of balance so that you still are able to have some support in getting through the tank, or versus these big reptiles. If you go all aqua, you're a little too lopsided and it can be very difficult.
Okay. That makes sense. I'm actually like browsing through the top 100 and I see like Jaguar mixed in with some of these shrimps,
there you go.
Stuff like that. So right in line with what you're saying, I guess. Yeah. Huh. Very cool. That's the kind of nuanced stuff. Like I mentioned this, I don't know if it was Axie Tuesday last week or something, but it cracks me up the amount of feedback I get that's so contradictory, where in the same day I had somebody tell me that 6 out of 6 pures were completely broken and that they need to be nerfed, and it's not fair that their Axies are not pure and the pures are just too strong and kicking their ass in arena. And then someone else said, man, these 6 out of 6 pures, they're terrible. I keep getting destroyed by these 4 out of 6s, these 5 out of 6s. I feel like I should get a bonus for having a pure Axie because it's pure and awesome, but not as good in the arena. And I feel like that is just so indicative of the lens sometimes that people have when you're stuck at this one kind of like bracket, or like you're making the same series of misplays or whatever it is, and you just see this wall of like, I can't. And I struggle to reach those people that I often want to say, like, I'm sure your Axies aren't perfect, but I'm pretty sure you're not playing perfect either. I have one guy linked to my video with Indes where he was coaching me, and it's like an hour-long video, and the guy responded in 10 minutes. Yeah, I watched it and didn't learn anything. It's just like, ugh, all right, man.
You're not going to succeed. It's just that simple. Like, look, Axie takes a certain level of commitment and honesty. And, like, if you don't have those two things, it does not even Axie, like any competitive game. I bet you whatever and I'm not trying to bash. I'm just trying to awaken, like, what it really takes. And I'm not even trying to pretend it doesn't take a little financial investment up front. It absolutely does, but we're all in the same boat with that. And it's like, in a sense that is where we are. And let's see, what was I trying to say? Oh, there are, I don't even know how many people out there that have top 100 caliber teams, by which I mean compositions that you'll find some people in the top 100 with that are nowhere close. And that's really all you need to think about. Like, you got the same build, same idea, maybe a card off here or there, but you have it. Why aren't you up there? And it's execution thing. It's a not looking at enough replays. It's a not looking at enough YouTube videos. It's a not real introspection, not enough introspection into, where you're at with your game. And by the way, that's not just how you execute. That is your mental game and approach to this. If it is fragile, if you're just going to complain every time you lose, you will just attract more of that, and you won't be able to break through. So these people are placing walls around themselves, and, that's really all I can say about it. It takes a lot of honesty.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that's like, it's awesome that we were able to grow so quickly. And the play to earn element is an amazing value proposition around Axie, but it grew so quickly that sometimes I think now the dialogue, like we need a resurgence of the like competitive, the depth, because some people lost that in translation where, the news coverage talks about the economics, but it doesn't talk about the esports scene yet. And rightfully so. Until recently, we didn't really have an esports scene because the damn challenge server was turned off. So I get it, but now we've got like a little rebuilding there to do. And I totally understand why the lens has shifted. It sort of all makes sense when you really think about it. But that's where I'm excited for more events to pop up on the esports server. Oh yeah, I need to tweet that. But that calendar that we had originally posted, like that link that was embedded within the announcement is living and breathing. So I've been updating that now with like registration links for future events and more just direct, like, hey, here's the organization. This is how you get in contact with them. Follow these people on Twitter to, get the update when the bracket gets released, that kind of stuff. So I'll probably tweet that out on the Axie Twitter probably later tonight after we get off today. So within that scope, also going to green light some more community events now that we know the server's kind of working and pretty stable and fairly lag free for the most part. We'll have some more, not AXS supported, but I think there's going to be some like community show matches and stuff like that people can run just with access to the server. So baby steps here, Elijah. I'm so excited about Axie Esports, but we got to go one foot in front of the other, and that's the way to do it. But man, I'm just so excited.
Yeah, we're doing really well, right? It's important to just take a step back and like we're all hungry and working hard and set high standards for ourselves, like you and I, everyone in this community. So like, but it's good to take a step back and go like, damn, we're doing really well. And as long as we keep this attitude, the sky's the limit. I want to address Tan Haka. He made a great point. I think that content is essential both to be made and to be consumed, especially for the development of the competitive scenario. I couldn't agree more. And that's what's exciting about for instance, the CTG esports team, that's a new thing. Like the last 3 weeks, that suddenly we have 10 amazing players with the right mindset. And I'm so honored to be working with them. I'll name drop a few: Yellow Panther, Putter Piro, Animel, Hasheki, who started with me as a scholar. And, you know, these guys, a handful of them, maybe not all, but a lot of these people are going to be making content. And that is what we need, people who are competent and can educate so that others can, because for a long time it was, you know, I'm not trying to inflate myself. It was kind of like me and Indes. That was it. And I'm excited for others to be like, hell yeah, I want to inspire people and succeed and be at the top. And it's a great feeling. So I encourage you, if you're thinking about it, you're having like any success in Arena, just like put it out there, you know?
No, totally. There's still so much room for more Axie live streams, more Axie like curated, edited videos. Like I've been chatting with a couple of the Dota pros. I introduced you to one of them earlier today, who's like, they've just dove in, and a couple of them have really taken to it. You know, they're like 2200, 2300 MMR. They're starting to breed all these like really interesting creative Axies, getting into the like, dude, there's only like 20 of these things. I think I'm onto something here. Like that's the kind of energy I'm in love with. And I've been trying to encourage them. Like, I know it's scary to make the switch because some people still judge the NFT stuff. It's still, you know, there's a lot of fudders out there, and that can be a little scary and frustrating. But man, the potential for growth with that kind of energy, where you're like innovating builds and doing really fun stuff, and you're like searching for that next cutting edge part of the meta. Man, I think that's like amazing content potentially, and the kind of stuff people are really hungry for. So yeah, totally. If like, I really truly believe that there are counters and combos out there lurking, and like you said, people sitting on Axies that are surprisingly good that they haven't quite figured out how exactly or why yet. And I mean, I've got 60 Axies sitting in my inventory. I'm sure a couple of them are probably not being utilized to their full potential, you know, and I'm just one little fish in the sea of Axie players. So yeah, I'm bullish on all that stuff. I think the meta still has some evolution to go, and maybe some balance changes are needed. But I also I like this idea of trying to continue pushing people to be innovative, you know, and not get reliant on balance changes, because there's so much stuff out there. There's so many variations in the Axie world.
Yeah, there is. And, you know, I know I really talked harshly about it earlier, and that's because I do think it's too strong. But if you let the game play out for 5 years and did no changes whatsoever, there we would find a solution, because there's Bidens, there's ideas, there's thoughts. We'd find a solution to the meta would shift, is what I'm saying, and the double grass snake reptile wouldn't be forever. It's just so dominant right now, and it's no, you know, and it's very strong. So, but yeah, these are exciting times for sure. I mean, the idea, getting a team of players together, I mean, it's been monumental for me. I'm excited to see it happening. We have amazing fun calls and laugh and play and trade Axies. We're in there like math and, or not math, what's it called? Scientists, and just having a fucking blast with it. And that's going to continue, man. Because like you said, the game happens to you, and then suddenly you are in a rabbit hole that you cannot turn away from, because there's just so many possibilities, and it's so creative.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's sometimes I'm jealous of you guys on the content side, because there's so much potential, and I can see how excited the fans are to consume. I mean, dude, your growth has been like so well deserved, but really pretty insane. Like when I talk to outsiders about like, hey, look at Elijah, look at Bryce, look at these YouTube metrics. I pull up your Social Blades sometimes and go, damn. I mean, if this isn't like a testimony for Axie and hunger for like competitive strategy, right? It's, I mean, you and I've talked about this. It's not just people coming for the play to earn element. And now that the, you know, daily quest has shifted a little bit to favor PvP and strategy, even more people are like, all right, I got to dive deep into the PvP strategy here. How do I maximize what I've got? And that's where people like you come in. And it makes sense. The numbers are blowing up, but damn, dude, you're on the fast track over there. Life in the fast lane.
I don't really even know what to say. Like, I'm truly honored to be in the position I'm in, and forever grateful for the community. And like Axie, has changed my life, and it's like, you know, really my purpose right now. And because there's altruism, because there's this bright community, if it was just a game where the centralized creators were making bank and the little guy did get nothing kicked back to him, I wouldn't fucking care. Like it could be a great game, but it wouldn't have got me the way this did. This has all the elements. So like, I mean, I could get emotional kind of thinking about it, you know, just like what we're doing here. And yeah, so I hope the people, if I've done anything good or great, like I hope people are seeing it and going, I can do that too.
That's awesome. How are you doing balance wise? Because one thing that I know on the content side and when you're third party, there's so many opportunities, and I can only imagine the growth that you've gotten. I'm sure your inbox is busy. I'm sure you've got all sorts of offers from weird sponsors and crazy partnerships. A lot of them are far-fetched and make no sense, but there's probably a few in there that are like potentially valuable or really cool. Like, do you have a team outside of, like, I know you have the scholarship in CTG, but like, do you have like video editors? How do you balance everything, dude? Because I'm like 1,500 MMR or something right now. It's mostly a function of just not sitting down and playing fucking arena games because I'm just I'm busy, and by the end of the day, I'm tired, and I don't want to like I have some brain power, but it's not like proper grinding time, and I more just kind of go for a walk, then have some dinner and go to bed. How do you do it? Like, how do you find the time to push, grind, innovate, come up with content, make fucking thumbnails, edit? Like, where are you handling it? You doing all right over there? Because I don't say that jokingly. It's seriously fucking hard, and it happens like that. You go from like, wow, this is really easy, I don't have enough ideas, to like, oh my God, this is overwhelming, I'm drowning in success. It's fucking hard, dude.
Well, it's a what is it called? A double-edged sword, maybe, because I'm so passionate that honestly, the thing I have to work on is pulling myself away from the game, because that's how much I love playing, and I was always like that from the time I started. So if anything, I get lost in like, it's the middle of the day and I just played for 3 hours and I have all this other shit that I need to do too. So like, that's kind of where I'm at. But yeah, there's definitely moments of arguable burnout, but at the same time, because I'm just so into it, like it doesn't really it feels a bit like a blur. Like we've just gotten here by doing what you love, right? And putting one foot in front of the other. And that's kind of it. Right. And I have I'm working on a big Axie project now and have things in the works, but also lastly, just having an amazing team around you is like so important. I do all the editing and thumbnails myself, but just again, the CTG fam, my co-founders, everyone's support. You know, that Axie I won with that I was using, Biff bred that. Biff doesn't even play the game anymore.
Oh, really?
But yet he's so locked in, and people forget he was a top 15 player for all the first seasons. Right. He's an OG 3 years deep in the game, I think, around there, or not, but like a couple years at least. And so one day, right, he's not even playing, he's just like, dude, look what I bred. He had been intentionally going for it, and I think it's probably one of the best Axies in the game, one of the most well-rounded. So proper team is massive.
Yeah, no, there's no doubt it definitely helps. And I mean, labels are cumbersome. Like, I really liked, you know, Jiho is a great follow on Twitter. He motivates. I mean, he's kind of my boss in a lot of ways. So like, you know, he motivates me just in general and helps me, you know, get through barriers and challenges in the workplace. But his Twitter really makes me think a lot. And he said that, you know, capitalism, socialism, like these words are so loaded and charged that does it even really serve us to frame Axie that way? Maybe we need to come up with like our own words to define what we're doing here, because it is completely different, and it has some elements of things that exist already, but this trustless, uncollateralized loan that is built into the game via scholarships, where you can give people access to an account, but your Axies are safe thanks to the blockchain. That's powerful shit, man. That's like, being able to give people access to assets like that, like even in the real world, think about spending $1,000 on a set of tools and then meeting some random person on the internet across the world and be like, all right, man, I'm going to mail you my tools. You do a bunch of work. We're going to split the money. You send them back and we'll be good. It's like while they're using the tools, they're going to get broken or busted. They're like a durable good. Like, you know, that the classic, you need a printing press to make the newspapers. You wouldn't just give somebody your printing press. That shit's delicate and valuable. The Axies are dirt, like, you can't break them. You know, I've said that to people. You give them a VIP scholarship account. One of the first things I say is, all right, now don't stress about anything here. You can't fuck it up. You can't delete them. You can't ruin it. You're good. Just get in there and have as much fun as you want. Click all the buttons, man. It's all good. That's really powerful shit, though. No joke.
Super powerful. You hit the nail on the head, Andrew. And those words, he's right. Like, what are people even saying? Like, someone said, I don't know, someone said some shit on the interview we did about, it's like listening to, I think Bill Gates and Warren Buffett talk about capitalism. And it's just like,
wait,
dude,
which one are you?
Who knows? Who cares? You know, but like, all I ever try to do is talk with inspiration. That's all I care about. Take what you want. Like, you know, if you don't think I'm here to try to uplift people, then we just cannot have a conversation. And that's fine. There's going to be people who don't see what I see, and that's okay. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Like, this is a paradigm shift. This is a new word. That's correct. And I don't know what it is, but honestly, the thing that comes close to the small phrase of player-owned economy, that's never been a thing, ever.
It's been advertised. It's been like teased. Like people have tried to dangle that carrot, but never to the degree at which we're seeing it here has that been true. Where it's like when I tell people, guys, there's no developer to player transactions. They go, well, how did it start? I'm like, well, we sold some eggs like 3 years ago or whatever. They hatched and then the whole thing started and now it's all players. It's all in their hands to breed and sell and move the whole thing along. So like the fact that it's moving along at an accelerating pace is a huge testament to how much our audience cares about this thing and how fast the demand is scaling. That kind of blows people's minds. When you think about traditional gaming, anything in the video game world, it is actually all developer to player transactions. Like, think about free to play and what, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever, we were all heralding that as this is so revolutionary. $60 for a box game. What a scam. Free to play. I get the whole game for free and then I can just buy this random stuff at my leisure. Oh man, this is great. But then over time you realize how like warped and kind of manipulative that can get, and you're just buying all this stuff that is actually useless. Zero transferability, zero ability to cash out and sell it. One of my biggest pet peeves these days. I'm sorry, I'm ranting here. I got myself fired up.
That's great. It's great.
Oh, when people say Steam money is as good as real money because I was going to buy video games anyway, is kind of like, I get where you're coming from, but don't say it's as good as real money. That's just like marketing and infecting your ability to analyze what's happening here. It is, you can't cash it out for normal money, so it is not as good as real money. It's a one-way street. It's like returning something and getting a store credit back. You don't get your cash back. That's it's amazing to me that people will say like Ethereum's a scam, but Steam money is as good as regular money. Like I don't know how to break through to that person, and I think that's actually a large number of people in North America and Western Europe.
You are correct, and I think time is the key here. Yeah, time is the key because it'll break through for them when they're late as fuck to the party, and that's fine. But they'll be here. Like these are opportunities never before seen. There will be other amazing games. There will be people flocking to the scene, and the ones that are here now will have a bit of an advantage, and that's great. We deserve it. So, that's it, man. It's like someone said no alpha has had this many testers. That's hilarious.
That is actually, I guess technically Dota was beta for that long, and we are alpha. So yeah, fair enough. That is wild though. I mean, it's also not like that much of a meme. Like the game truly is still pretty alpha, all things considered. It's been a long alpha, but compared to where the universe is going to be in like a year's time, I think like if you were to look back in this video a year from now in 2022, August 24, it'd be like, yeah, wow, Axie really was incomplete compared to all the stuff that we can do now with land gameplay and the free-to-play element and all that kind of stuff.
I loved hearing the team say something. I think they announced they feel like the game is about 15% done right now with where they would envision it. So let that sink in.
Damn. Yeah, no, that's a hell of a... Totally. Jesus. That's motivating as hell.
You know, I played Hearthstone out of curiosity and partially boredom when the servers went down for a week or whatever, 10 days. Surprised at how easy it was to get legendary. That took me like 3 days, which I think.
How much money did you put in?
No, I didn't. I sold all the shit that I had once had on there. Like I did what you said. I got cheap, measly store credit because when you craft, when you dust your cards or whatever however they do it, you get them for a fraction. Like if a card is worth 1,600 dust to craft it, you get like 400 back. If you decide to sell it back to yourself, it's such a joke. It's so dumb. So I did that.
Yeah, no comment, dude.
Yeah. It's like, what can you say? But I did that with like a bunch of old useless legendary cards that weren't current in the meta. So I got that. I did it enough to craft one really nice droid deck, and climbed. But I gotta say, it's interesting. It's interesting how depending on the type of person you are. Like I've always been into self-awareness and meditation and personal growth. It's interesting. I feel like a lot of people in Axie have really high standards for themselves as people and what their worldview is. When you tap into a game that doesn't have the collective consciousness of like, we want the world to be better, right? Because like Hearthstone, Call of Duty, all these games, like that's not really a focal point. It's not like we want the world to be better. That's not a built-in theme. So, and that's fine. It's entertainment. That's cool, whatever. But it doesn't, no matter how good a game might be, it doesn't speak to you in the same kind of way. At least me, right? It doesn't make me go, this is something I really want to build with.
I think here's the gap that a lot of people miss. The old school kind of like classic capitalistic, like what they taught me in business school 10 years ago is that sort of unemotional, unrelenting, people are generally dumb and don't know what they want. And like, even if that might be like a statistically true statement or something, applying it in such a way where it's like, we made a game, we have to own the game because we can't trust our players to own the game. They're going to run the damn thing into the ground. So that translates into this really wild control mechanism where players are like hamstrung into this really linear, like pay us $15 a month, then you can play the game. And then that gives you the right to buy a bunch of extra shit within the game. That doesn't fucking matter. What a business model. And that fear, I think, is like old school and unfounded because when you see it in practice, it's that classic Axie Infinity, what is it, a inversion or juxtaposition? If you give people the freedom to sell all of their assets at any time on a free market, when people say, well, what happens if everybody tries to sell at the same time? A, there's no liquidity. B, people don't do that because when they have the ownership of their stuff, they actually believe in the market more, and hence they hold longer because there's just generally more confidence, and it creates a positive feedback loop of everybody who's sort of involved in the thing because there's shared ownership. There's less fear and risk of the kind of rug or reliance or like, wow, this big centralized firm we're all relying on has made some really bad decisions. And in this case, like the players have this shared vested interest that translates to ding, 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 giving a shit about the community because you actually own it. Instead of being a pawn in the system, you're a goddamn rook or a bishop or whatever else. You're owning your little spot. You got your castle, you know?
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, that's 100%. It right there. It's revolutionary. You just had you got to take the leap of faith that your community is not going to mess it up, I guess. And I think that's what a lot of the laggard sort of traditional big game devs have been afraid of. giving too much value to their players and then they lose the value. I think they see it as a zero-sum game. So any value handed over is essentially value lost to the shareholders and the IPO price, the stock price.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I just love that we can have this conversation. It's like connecting with people who see it is wonderful. And, I really think that more people, everyone will see it. That's the vision, I believe, and it'll be great.
Awesome.
Matter of time. Not
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying? Like
No,
this
totally.
is on a fast track and for good reason. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree with you wholeheartedly that time is just a big element. And for some people, like it's what's that classic bell curve of like adoption, the early adopters and then like the laggards are on the far other side. Most people are in the middle of that bell curve of like, I'm willing to sacrifice lost value because I'm just generally risk averse. And I want to have that tipping point confidence of, oh, okay, enough people have used it that I feel safe that this is actually a legit thing now. We're like not even quite at that point yet. We're just getting to the tip of that iceberg of these still kind of not early adopters, but in the middle of that bell curve, still to the left side. It's exciting times. There's still so much to come. And whoever would have thought Axie would be the driving force now, just onboarding people into the Ethereum ecosystem. I mean, so many of our players are new to crypto and blockchain because they've heard about Axie, and that's the motivator to start learning and open up that can of worms. That's pretty wild. Axie for a long time was the opposite. Like, hey, there's all these people that made all this money on Ethereum and cryptocurrency. They want to find cool ways to spend it. What is the way to do that? And Axie was a solution. Now it's flipped the other way. It's bringing all these new people in. Powerful stuff there. That's valuable,
Absolutely incredible. That's brilliant. And it makes sense. Who doesn't love having fun? Who doesn't like having fun and making money?
Well said. Who doesn't like having fun and making money? I guess they kind of go hand in hand sometimes.
Yeah.
All right, well, what do you say we hop into some arenas, dude? You want to?
Go, man.
All right,
let's go.
We can review some of my Axies. Give me a sec here. We'll play with some overlays. I'm gonna have to log in real quick. All right. Sorry, folks. Elijah's gonna disappear for a sec while I move things around.
So I guess you'll share your screen on Discord, right?
I will. Yeah. Let me pop open Mavis Hub. There it is. So what do you want to do? Do you want to play against each other in some like challenge arenas and study up? Do you want to kind of backseat me in some regular arenas? What sounds like the best course here?
I think both of those sound kind of very fun. We've never faced off yet, so maybe we just do one of those and then we could revisit it, come back to one later even or whatever. I mean,
sure.
That sounds kind of
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine to start there. Last time, I remember I asked you what gravel ant was, and you very kindly explained it to me, and then I didn't really understand, and you said, well, let's just play real quick, and I'll show you why it's broken. I have since figured it out, and I bought an Axie with gravel ant, and I have been very much enjoying it. So
that's good. I actually don't think it's broken. I mean, I can see why people do. It's hard to work in, especially with how much aggression is out there. And this is a good example. I mean, it's tough to say. Also, ranged and birds and all this stuff, like ranged cards on every backliner has become kind of a thing for the most part, like making sure you have one. So yeah, but I understand the hatred for it.
It's just me too. It's just a very frustrating experience when it hard counters you. It's just one of those cards that does hard counter certain things, obviously. And if you've got an Axie with 4 melee abilities, and you're into that 1v1, it really sucks. I feel you. Yeah. But you got to always keep it in the context of, well, what counters Gravant? And if you've got ranged attacks, does that, actually matter?
And in today's game, it's like, can you even get the Gravelant Axie's use because everyone you face has a deadly backdoor, venomous, garish worm. Goodbye to your Axie before you're going to deplete to death build.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
is that backline bug really going to work against the Terminator? Yeah, not most of the time.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm getting stuck on the old CAPTCHA here. You know how it goes. I really hate the traffic light ones because does it include the pole? Is that part of the traffic light or is it just the lights itself? Can somebody...
I usually overextend and go for it.
You
I
go for
say
the
I
extra
usually-
squares? Okay.
I go for the extra squares, and but you gotta look out for the switcherooski, where they give you planes for 2, and then they say, "Now tell me about a truck," and I'm stuck on planes.
Yeah, all right, so let me all right. Oh, that's so loud. All right, hang on a sec here. I gotta move some windows around. There we go. Wow, the old esports server has ooh, that music's loud. There we go. Hey, Stark Axie.
Are you still really big here on your aquas, or have you switched up?
So I have switched up a little bit. So now that I got the overlays set, I'm gonna share screen with you. Oh, that's a big Elijah. Okay, let's shrink you down a little bit. And let's get rid of this arena score. And
I'm seeing some beasts here. I'm looking at your...
Yep, on Discord, share screen. Okay, can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So we can run through. I might need to sync Axies here real quick. So my collection is growing, Elijah. Look at this. There's some cool stuff in here. Like a little birch going on. Some nice. So yes and no. I have started extending out. I'll show you a couple of my teams. I'd like you to critique. You're going to hate this, but my mindless, this is my before bed when I don't want to play a lot of strategy. It's these guys. My triple tank. I recently learned what Scarab does. That's very cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's not popping up, but that's fun against other, healing teams. So this is it's stupid, it's easy, but if you play with serious right, it really cripples people. And if there's any aqua in the backliner when you have watering can, you almost win by default with this. So I think not exciting, but it's been getting me there. Now my real lineups that I use when I'm actually trying to play, I like is it the meta meatballs? Yeah, so this is my Cuckoo backliner Axie. I think this is pretty standard stuff, eh? Again, I don't know why some of them aren't loading, but nothing too crazy here, right?
Yeah. I think we can improve the midline, but other than that, looks pretty nice.
What would you switch this guy to?
So I'd get, you have a couple options. I think I'd get just something with a high beast or bug damage card would go a long way.
Oh, okay.
You could play around even with one that, gives you some durability too, like an Arco, something like that. Yeah, or ideally, the ideal is some beast and bug damage and a little more shield potential would be probably the prime little, like the prime adjustments there.
Okay.
It just offers you more outplay. Like you can't really do anything. That's just pure firepower without being able to make adjustments.
Gotcha. Okay. So we can just run through these real quick. This was what I thought was going to be big brain. This is my 1 Grav Ant bug. What do you think about this backliner? Discards. Is this cool?
It's cool. It's okay. The problem is it lacks damage, and then here you actually have 2 kind of beast bug classes. So
this comp sucked real hard.
Yeah, you're gonna get wrecked. You just don't have enough balance.
Yep. Yeah, you're exactly right. You're a smart man, Elijah. So this one I have not played with much, but I picked up this wild Axie. This man, he's also not loading, but he's got the spikes. Is this more balanced?
Yes, it's definitely more balanced, but the problem now is that you don't have... So, okay, I ran Tri-Spike Bug 2 seasons in a row. I got 9th, and then I got 4th with it.
Okay.
So you're kind of in that realm. You just aren't quite... The problem with your bug is the snail shell. You really have such little attack on that. It's almost like you have 3 0 costs. Almost. You got snail, gravel, and pincer. So where's your damage, right?
Oh, it's that discard, whatever that ability's called. The 80-50. That's it.
Okay.
And
You
that's
have 180
pretty weak.
damage card. That's it.
Yeah, I see. Well, that would explain why I lose the 1v1 so much, even though my bug seems so good in theory.
Yeah, in theory, what you would do is, and this is how it can still work to this day, but you need like Buzz or Garish Worm on the back, because that's an extra 100 damage, or Scarab, like 110 damage, right?
Okay.
So that even against like Aquas and stuff, what happens by the time you get to the 1v1, you get them down to 3 cards with the discard, so they keep only drawing 3. That plus Gravel makes it, even if they have a range card, unlikely they draw it and you deplete them to death and you have enough damage.
So the stun is just like kind of redundant because you already have so much control. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why this bug was so freaking cheap. Damn it.
Yes.
I got again, Elijah. Every time I think I got a good deal, I talk to some smarty like you or Indes, and you're like, well, actually, it'd be way better if you just done this instead.
Yeah, you got, but that's all right.
All right,
you could sell it, no problemo.
Yeah, but he's pure. Okay, so oops, I didn't mean to click select. So this was my I sort of an amalgam. I was talking to Indes about some really weird build, and I was trying to buy this big bug for this big plant with poison for another build. But it ended up working out really well. I learned how a chain works by buying this Axie. That was a good live education in an arena. Any thoughts here, though? Is this not balanced enough? That now that we've ripped this bug apart, I understand why this lineup's maybe even harder than it should be. Yeah,
here it's the same issue, even more so, because now your midliner has no damage too. So at least you had the aqua for something.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're like, how are you going to kill anything? And your backliner, I know it can catch with the snail shell backdoors, but he's a sitting duck in today's meta.
Gotcha.
You'd get starched at once you cross a certain threshold.
All right, so given all that, I mean, we could also, I don't know if it's worth the time, but we could browse through Axies and try to assemble another team. What do you want to play with here, or do you want to play against each other?
Yeah, we could play against each other to start.
Is there a team that, do you want to assemble a new team?
Your best shot of getting a W is probably your two aquas.
This one with the cuckoo and the... Is this your ideal tank in the front line? Is there something better that you'd want there?
It would be that team, and for where you're at, that's perfect. Once you start getting to double reptile land with grass snake, you get a Bidens up front, and your win rate goes up a lot versus those teams. But for now, it's perfect.
Okay. I do have one Bidens Axie, but it might not be very good. I did not. I'm still not very good with the interface. This Bidens one.
Axie I saw that on your inventory. I saw that, but I think it's not ideal. You want more you want like cactus, hot butt, and then it's okay to have a beast card if instead of cactus, maybe a high damage horn like Pocky or dual blade. But there you go. But like if you had that with I mean, even as it is a good tank. Honestly, that's a great tank. This 32 speed isn't phenomenal, but because of the Sirius, you want to go last with Sirius.
Right.
But Animale, I always just call him Animal. It makes my life easy, and he's fine with it. So Animal runs that with Pocky and then the Bidens, which if you guys think about it, you're stuck in this against this reptile in the 1v1 usually with your plant because they've poisoned the death out of poison your mid and back to death. If you have a Bidens to negate the poison and to get rid of stuns if you end up versus something that can stun you, and then a beast card, and hot butt, you can win that. It's nice. So you got some nice plants, but the one with the pumpkin hot butt is good.
Yeah. So this one I thought it was awesome, and then Indes told me, hey, that'd be a great backliner there, mate, if it didn't have pumpkin. The most classic Indes, like, oh, that's a good looking Axie. Except this is why it sucks. And then so should I swap him out though? Is this a better one than the frontliner that I have here? Not the Pocky, but the cactus guy. What do you think?
They're very comparable. I think the cactus is better just because the Sirius effect going last. Like the dual blade will do like maybe 155, something like that on a plant, and then the cactus is like 152. So it's like not a big.
So
dual blade might be like closer to little high 150s, maybe even 160 on a plant.
Pick of the litter here when it comes to midliner aquas. I assume we want something with Nemo, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So I got Nemo, Piranha, Goldfish, Clam. I don't have any cool they're all 6 out of 6s, so they're kind of just
climbing the ranks. You probably smash some people with a perch, but once you get past a certain point, everyone can protect against it with no issues. No one's gonna leave anything hanging to that.
Okay, but perch Nemo.
So,
do I have any perch Nemos?
I think I saw one up above with Piranha.
Did I? Let's see here.
With Piranha and Clam. Oh no, you actually don't. I
It's
don't think.
koi. Yeah, I think they're
Never
all koi.
mind.
I'm really light on Nemos, and I've been pushing Axies onto Scholar accounts, and I feel
Yeah.
bad giving them a non-Nemo double aqua lineup, so I'm actually light on Nemos myself.
I'm seeing
So,
if maybe I can see if I can send you something real quick.
do you,
Alright.
I guess Clamshell and Shoalstar are pretty comparable, huh? Not
Yeah,
a
they're
big
pretty.
difference
Yeah,
there.
not a huge difference. Not a huge difference.
I've got a cuckoo with Nemo. Oh my gosh, that was a terrible. I got on that one too, Elijah. I felt like such a dummy. You got to have the cuckoo with the koi, and the same thing. I was like, wow, this cuckoo is so cheap. I'm a genius. But here's the kicker: it was a 0 breed, and I bred it with a koi, and that's how I got my cuckoo koi was with the breed. So
That's how you turn a loss into a win.
with a little bit of luck, a sprinkle of magic, your dreams can become reality.
Reality. Okay, so let me send you something. Let me just get my.
Oh, I can send you. All right.
I've got a few lying around for you, Zyori. So let me.
Do you want to trade? You want one of
can...
my generic aquas in exchange?
Oh no, that's all right.
Wow, that's so generous, Elijah.
No problem. Here.
What's
your Ronin? Drop it in the disc.
Link it right here.
All right.
There you go.
Okay.
My Ronin starts with 69. That's how you know it's me. I was so happy when I dice rolled that. It was like a moment where I felt like the stars just aligned.
If that's not a sign, if that's not a sign, I don't know what is. All right, so you're gonna get a Pocky, Nemo, Goldfish, midliner.
Oh, I have
risky.
So Pocky is deal 10% additional damage for each allied bug. Is that Pocky?
It is. That part is kind of irrelevant. It's just more about the firepower. It'll do when you combo that with Risky Fish. It's gonna do like 180 something damage to plants.
Oh, I see. Because it's a 125, so it actually is a little extra damage. Ooh.
Yeah. So that's something your current Aqua can simply not do, and that makes the efficiency of the koi build with Cuckoo way better, especially versus gives you a little more outs versus a rep. You know, you can maybe hold those, use the aqua cards to get through the plant, and then at least have some big firepower for the mid, things like that.
Damn. Okay. Dude, it really is a game of inches. I love that those little breakpoints are like, that's the kind of shit I would see and be like, I don't know why Pocky's good. And now that I have this plant with Pocky, I feel a little less terrible about it.
Yeah.
Not that it's good, but you know.
Yeah. I think
the fish snack is okay though, right? That can come in handy.
Let's see.
No, not a fish snack guy. Okay.
I don't think. I think I'd rather have hot butt. You're kind of overkilling on shield there.
I see. Now, since we're waiting for this Axie to move, I do want to show off. I bought something today to treat myself, Elijah. I got this little cutie pie. You know, recognize that tail. That's a Japanese part.
Nice.
Now,
yeah,
I picked this one up collector-wise because I've been wanting one. I forget what it's called, the Japanese koi version, because I love the way it looks. But this is like one of those weird, it's a bird, so it's pink, but it has all plant parts. And for my collector's Axies, I actually always go for serious and mint wherever possible. And the strawberry is just so freaking cute. Look at the color scheme on this Axie, dude. He's pink, he's white, he's green. I want to be this thing. I bought him for like 0.21 today.
That's cool. That's a nice collector pickup. You know, that could be really worth something one day. The Japanese parts are retired, so there's only a limited amount.
Yeah, I have.
A lot of them they're all sub, like, I mean, they should all be sub 1 million for sure.
Yeah, I have a couple. I have a single, and then I have a double, and then the one I just bought is a single. So
nice.
I'm not that like crazy on it, but like my Frosty also has mint on the back. Like I'm excited for land gameplay just to have my ideal like matching set of Axies that I can farm with. That's the shit that I get excited about.
Hell yeah. And that's the cool thing. Like the other great thing about Axie is just like all of the ways to enjoy it, right? There's people, there's so many, even collecting, matching. And then once land comes, that'll be even more fun to do for sure when you have things on display in that world and you're doing adventures and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Let's see. So you should have that.
Okay, I'm gonna sync. Okay. What ID was it? How high are we talking here?
Let's see. I'm not sure, but it sometimes when you sync, okay, it's 313 to like 3 million. Sometimes when you sync, you have to do it like a few times.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
My sync button disappeared. Fetching 55, 52, 51. Let's have a look here. All right, so oh, there he is, Pocky. Okay, I got him.
Cool.
So let's have a look here. Nemo, wow. And then you mix the goldfish in there so that you, okay.
Yeah, the goldfish too is important because I don't know if you saw the tournament, but it's important for tournaments and ladders just because of how prevalent the Terminators are. So, guys, another tip: the idea with Arena right now, I don't know if it's unfortunate, just the way it is. You need a midliner that has closing potential, and on top of that, you kind of need one that has speed up potential because of how much you're facing Terminators in the 1v1 and the lagging. Right? If you have no way to counteract that, they can slow you even if they're behind and just turn the game on its head and still beat you with the double stun and the slow and the damage. So if you have goldfish, rip to their slow ability.
Sorry, I had to rename my team. Cuckoo Pocky Fun Time. Elijah, I couldn't be more excited here. This is awesome. Is that a valuable Axie? Do I owe you one here?
Don't worry about it.
All right. Thank you, sir. Too generous.
Yeah.
No All right. Problem. Are you on the esports server?
I'm ready. Yeah.
All right. I see you. All right.
Here we go.
All right. So you're running pretty similar here. This looks like the kind of tournament lineups I was looking at. We have basically the same tank. You've got this dual blades aqua that I was talking about, but with the Nemo. So a nice midliner. And a variation. This is like a Cuckoo Reptile instead of my Cuckoo Aqua. Wow.
Correct.
Okay, this thing looks pretty nasty.
It's a dusk though, so it's
it's a dusk.
50,
okay.
Yeah, that's the 50 speed there is huge for when I face Terminators. It's huge for if I play one Croc at 50 speed, which applies speed down, I go before birds in the following round. I just need one, which is kind of crazy.
Okay.
It's strong to say the least. All right. Can you hear my sound or no?
A little bit slightly. I could hear that you were moving cards around. I don't know how many.
I'll be muting my sound next game.
Very good. I have to I'm trying really hard to channel I'm playing poker right now. I'm not thinking what would people at 1500 do? What would Elijah do? And I misread it. I should have pumpkined.
Oh, you held one, huh?
Yeah, I held the pumpkin.
Yeah, yeah, you're gonna go down here.
I think so, and I think the pumpkin actually would have been enough. So, why do you play the cuckoo at the end? Is that so you get the attack for the next round?
Yeah.
If you use it ahead, then it expires. You use it, right? It goes away.
Yeah, you misordered your Sirius there too. You want to lead with that, so you steal if you end up in last stand.
Right. Okay, I got you.
Basically ending there is because I knew that with the amount of firepower I was bringing, I should get the kill without needing the damage bonus. So playing the Cuckoo before the Thorny for the extra damage would have been, in a sense, an overkill. I don't really need all that. I already saw you play one pumpkin. So I don't know if that makes sense or not.
It kind of does. I guess why bother playing it at all is what I don't understand.
The Cuckoo? Well, in that case, I played it so that I could get so when you chomp an opponent, they get stunned, and that counts as a debuff. So my Thorny does more damage. Instead of doing 122, it gets that 130% damage bonus and does 163, I believe. So that's why I played the 3 cards because I need 3 cards to get the Chomp. So it's like Chomp, Thorny, and then end with Cuckoo.
Oh, yeah. I always forget you got a combo Chomp with 2 other cards. I don't have
exactly.
I don't have Chomp on any of my Axies. Okay, now I get it. Yeah. Dumb question.
Not a dumb question.
Well, slightly. It's I should have played another. I thought you might sacrifice your tank.
You know I'm always going to try and get that tank value.
I know. As soon as I did it, I know I said out loud, I was trying to read the player, and then I thought back to the last time we talked and how many times you said, now, Zyori, at this bracket, people really hate their tanks. Like, we had that conversation like every other game.
Yeah, they really don't care about protecting them, which is a big mistake. Like, fighting for your plants life is huge. Like, as much value as you can try to get. Now, there are times where you have to think, you have to let it go, right? There's times where it's too risky, but people don't take the risk enough or realize that they can, and they miss out on tons and tons of value.
I have another noob question.
What's up?
Does the attack buff for Cuckoo just last forever?
Yes, it'll sit there, and that's why you can stack it, and like.
So you want to use some of them before the deck resets to just like start stacking them up, yeah?
Say again?
Like, you have it on your backliner. You want to use some before the deck resets so that you can actually get value out of them, right? Am I understanding that correctly?
Not necessarily, because when the deck resets, it's usually like round 5 or 6, and you still like want to be pushing for as much of a full hand as you can possibly have.
Okay.
So like using them early, like I said before, is often not even necessary to gain the kill you're looking for, and it's better to just hold them and try to calculate as efficiently as you can to kill the tank. A general rule of thumb is the more cards you can conserve, generally the better off you're gonna be. Is something to think about.
Well, it's just that equates to just more options, right? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Like people who immediately play like all their backline cards in round 2 or 3, it's tough. I mean, I'm not saying there isn't a time or place for it, but it's
I hear you. It puts you just in a position that is generally going to be more limited. Like if you're taking, oops, I just overplayed a lot. I wasn't paying attention because yeah, if you're thinking about like the expected value of like you're playing hundreds of arenas or whatever, yeah, that really matters.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited to play this comp again.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
It's not that different, but it is sort of slightly different. This Dusk is nasty. I do not see these in my bracket at all. This is like, this Axie's blowing my mind right now, dude.
Oh, it's a gem. It's a gem. And I think there's only like 3... actually, I don't know how many there are these days.
Oh, is this the one? This is like the ultra rare one that they were talking about that's like...
Oh, yeah.
I think Chief said like this is basically a perfect Axie. That's this guy?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
This is the one I was telling you about earlier, that Biff bred.
Yes.
He doesn't even play, but his head is so in the game. He's so sharp. He knows what's still very good. Yeah. And one day he just blessed me with this thing. You know, he knows I'm competitive in CTG, so he's like, I got something for you. I'm like, oh man, you gotta be kidding. What a monster. Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty sick. All right, let's try this again here. I got my brain wrapped around some stuff. I'm warmed up.
All right, you want me to change?
No, go the same. Let's go the same. I want to see this. This is like, I feel lucky to be battling against this legit tournament lineup. So I want to try to make the most of this here. Now, I'm always tempted if I draw a Nemo in the first hand like this. I always want to just play it with whatever combo I can just to get extra energy. And you told me not to do that, but I'm struggling to remember why I shouldn't do that.
Yeah, you never want to do that, because in the early rounds, especially when the plants are still in play and Sirius is so prevalent, it's a mistake because you're going first and you're generating energy that you're just leaving hanging for his plant to steal.
Okay, I see. So like, I should be more thinking about like, what are the chances you drew double Sirius and I'm about to get destroyed on the first hand or first round?
You don't even need to think about that if I have double or a single. The point is there's often one in play, and it doesn't really make sense in terms of like the value of you gaining more energy in these early rounds is so irrelevant, because for also extra energy when you're so low on card options is like doesn't even really provide value. It's better for you to hold till like the mid game when you need to boost up and then have options like later on.
Yeah.
And you're avoidant of the steals. So that's the other thing.
So I had Pumpkin there, and in my head, I'm like, I don't know if he's going to play anything on round 1, and now I kind of wish I played the Pumpkin. But more often than not, that feels like a bad maneuver.
Correct.
Like, if all I had was Pumpkin on my tank, round 1, most of the time I'm not going to play it.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think that's sound. I'm also not going to play it. I will play it again in round 1 against, like, let's say Beast, Bird. You shouldn't have told me you had Pumpkin, by the way.
Well,
Beast, Bird with like the 0 costs, where they have like hero and post fight, and I know they can just completely decimate me, and they often will because that build plays so fast. I will sometimes play it there, if that makes sense. Like, I'm like, oh, okay, this Pumpkin is probably merited. Or warranted, rather.
Well, I feel like I'm in a pickle here.
Well, that's what we do over at the Axie on the Moon channel. We put people in pickles, hence pickles in the chat. It's kind of the thing.
Well, there you go. I'm feeling it right now. I'm torn.
I think you have 5 energy, right? Yeah.
I have 4 energy.
Oh. So you gotta stop telling me things, Zyori.
Even less. Well, you have my stream, so.
I'm not gonna look at that.
I see why Dual Blades is so good, though. I was definitely overvaluing it for like the crit percentage, but just a straight 130 damage. Is that the highest damage ability, just straight up?
Watch this, watch this, watch this. Wham, 181.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Why does it hit so hard?
Well, it's a beast card, and then you get the attack. You get the attack plus from Risky Fish, right?
Oh yeah, okay. The extra.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, you weren't kidding. Okay, I totally see it now.
Yep. It's a powerhouse.
So was that a good use of Nemo? Did I blunder there, or was that the right thing?
Did you have a cuckoo?
No, I did not have a cuckoo.
I guess it's fine since your aqua is in trouble. Like, you might as well get rid of the last stand. It's kind of a mute play. Like, your aqua's in bad shape, so whatever.
Gotcha.
It's probably fine in case I get rid of the last stand on my plant. Then you get some value by hitting my midline.
I'm still bad at assessing how much extra damage Cuckoo stacks give me. Oh, there it is. It tells you 20%. 20% per stack. Okay. What a funny way that's written. Increases this Axie's next attack by 20% per plus.
Yeah, but like, who is going to who is going to do that math? No one. All you can do is get. What happens is you'll start to memorize the. That's unfortunate. You'll start to memorize the damages.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So yeah, I am in big trouble here, as they say.
Yeah.
Not so many options. So the Cuckoo buff stays, but it's only for the first attack that it does extra damage?
Correct. It's the first attack, but since it always lasts, like, until you hit them, you can, there's moments where you can stack the hell out of it and go like +3, +4 attack, and then hit them with like a 250 damage attack or something, even wilder sometimes.
I see. Okay.
But that's kind of rare situations. It is like with certain Axies, like the Hairbird that draws a bunch of cards, you'll see some pretty outrageous like can see some pretty outrageous Cuckoo play with that.
I did not realize how good that hair card is. That was like, I saw some people playing with that and went, oh shit, card draw is actually, it's just like the inverse of the bug. Like, I had the logic right with the bug of like, dude, if they don't have any cards, they can't strategize. It's the opposite is also true. If you just maximize your own card draw, it's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, you got all the options.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I'm a card game noob, all right? I'm like a Dota guy. I played Dota and Path of Exile like exclusively for a decade. So, you know, I'm just outside of poker. I enjoy playing poker, but I'm very much a, you know, amateur hobbyist level kind of poker player, far from professional. All right, how do you feel? Do you want to do one more with this lineup? I feel like I still... God, I couldn't imagine...
You want me to switch the team or keep the team?
It's up to you. I'm fine with either. I wouldn't mind one more go against this team.
All right.
I wouldn't mind having a go... I want to read this first round properly. Yeah, like
Maybe
I feel
should switch to like that Dusk is really tough for you.
Is that like a counter to this lineup? Kinda?
Yeah, it's not great for you.
Sure, switch it up then.
So why don't I switch to another double aqua where I should be at the disadvantage because you have more pure aquas and I have a one with a bug part on the back, so it's not phenomenal for me. So this is more of a shot for you.
Okay, we'll simulate the ladder experience. The tournament. I'm not ready for the tournament experience, Elijah.
Yeah,
I need more time in the hyperbolic time chamber.
I'm ready.
All right, cool. Here we go.
Like, you could definitely win this one, Zyori.
Okay, these look cool, though. All right, so you've got, what is it, Garish Worm. I'm not familiar with Dull Grip. Is that Pincers?
Oh, that's Pliers.
Pliers. Okay, Pliers. There it is. All right, I'm getting it. So we got Terror Chomp. I've played in a chain. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, and your Garish Worm. This is a cool lineup, though.
Oh, it's definitely cool.
This is very innovative. Wow, Elijah, living up to the reputation. Okay.
I used to have this with Garish Worm on the mid line as well for, you know, very high chewing through the tank ability, right? Triple Garish. But I switched to Goldfish Cute Bunny kind of as a meta thing with all of the, like I said, Terminators. It's really important to have the speed up. And then also the fear, as we all know, Terror Chomp on Cute Bunny is disgusting. So there's utility in that's massive, especially against a lot of these backdoor midline reptiles. I can make them miss and force them into my plant, which is nothing to scoff at.
Is Fear, I forget what Fear does. I keep confusing it with the one where it goes through shield. That's not Fear, right?
I forget what you freaking played here. Was that a Pocky? Sorry, say that again.
What does Fear do?
Fear does some things.
I confuse it with the other one.
Fear makes you miss twice. Fear makes you miss twice. Yeah.
Oh shit, that's even better than I thought, dude.
Yeah. Wonder what you're up to.
Thinking way too hard.
So you'll get a first-hand experience of it right here.
Of what the fear feels like?
Yeah.
I'm so scared, Elijah. Okay. Well, that was fun. So the problem with these Axies, though, the disadvantage is that they're slower. Like, compared to normal Aquas, like, outside of your Koi, I'm always going to get to go first with my backliners, or my midliner and backliner.
Right, exactly. That's kind of what I was saying here about you having a advantage in this one. Now this is questionable a bit, but I mean,
Should I have passed?
the problem is not accounting for the goldfish I have. So
Oh.
yeah, just in the sense that now I go first. So that whole advantage we just talked about isn't really.
Yeah, so I should have passed, and then I could have one-tapped that middle one. And now that you go first, I'm in sort of I have less options now with my frontliner because you might be able to kill him.
Correct.
I pickled myself, Elijah. Damn it.
You got yourself into a pickle.
Ugh. This always happens. Oh, dear. I think I know what I'm supposed to do here.
What's that?
Not play any cards on my midline Axie because you're going to kill him. I think I'm supposed to not play anything, as painful as that feels. Was I correct?
I think no. I think you kind of had to try, knowing that I played quite a few. You would have had to have been really keeping track of some things, knowing that I played a lot of midline cards. You would have had to try to get value out of your Nemos and hope I only had one on the mid, which I actually did only have one, which you could have survived with just a little bit of shield. I think that's probably your only bet.
It's true. If I had played out on my front, he probably would have lived. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. I have a long way to go here, senpai. I spend too much time looking at esports proposals, not enough time in the arena. What can I say, bud? It is wild, though, like, to go back and look at those moments. I know exactly where I lost it. It's like you had a clear play, and it's like that one little... I've totally lost games just playing my Sirius in the wrong order. And I go back and look and go, why did I do that? I know what I was supposed to do, and I still did it wrong.
Yeah, I think you could still win this one, though. I think
Possible.
I was supposed to... Yeah, I think I was supposed to play... pretty sure I was supposed to try to get value out of my midline cards there.
See, but now I'm not sure that I know what to do. I have some ideas.
Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, I blew this one. Pretty sure.
Do I cuckoo, or do I just go for the... I think I just go for the kill. I think this is one of those moments like with the anemones where my brain's like, you gotta go for the healing. And you're like, dude, just kill him. I think it's the same thing where I'm looking at these cuckoos and it's like, just fucking kill him.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough though.
I don't...
You only have 110 damage cards. If you had 140, you would have been able to. So I don't think that's gonna...
It wouldn't have been enough either way, even if I played a cuckoo.
Well, yeah, definitely not if you played a cuckoo. But I just think you had to try to get into the whole like speed up outplays. Basically, you should have played cuckoos and just gone koi, cuckoo, and then you would have chipped away at me. And then you go first next round and then blast, and I'm already weak enough and I can't, I'm done. You get what I mean?
But wouldn't you still have killed me that round anyway?
No, because I'm slower. I'm a slower Axie, plus you have like goldfish and cuckoo and koi as a way to speed up. So let's just say you play 2 attack cards and 2 cuckoos to ensure that well, actually I don't... Oh, that round, right?
Yeah, that round. I think I was still going to die that round either way, even if I played koi.
Actually,
cuckoo,
no,
cuckoo.
I think that's what I was trying to say, is that I think you had enough with cuckoo shield. You might have had enough to live, but maybe not.
It would have been pretty close. Yeah. All right.
It would have been close. Yeah, it would have been close. It was a close game.
All right.
Oh, you're not done yet.
I'm getting into this. You're sucking me in, dude. I'm like, I'm on the precipice of learning something here.
All right, let me use the bathroom real quick.
You got it. All right. Well, we can take. Run a commercial. We'll take a little bathroom break.
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Perfect. All right. See this, gang? Look at that. You get to learn at like my pain here. You see, that's the beauty of Axie Tuesdays. Zyori shows up for you. He makes all the blunders. He asks all the dumb questions. And you smarty pantses at home with your little notebooks out. You got your notepad open. You're like, I'm not going to be like Zyori. I'm going to be like Elijah. Right there. Right there. It's hard to visualize, man. It's so easy to get in your own head. when it comes to Axie. There's something about this game where you can get so deep into like, he knows that I know that he knows I'm going to do that, so I shouldn't do that. And, you know, that's just like that's a dark and twisted framing, man. That has high potential to get you into risky territory, you know? I love it. Absolutely love it. So we'll certainly get a few more in here and see how we go. I'm really excited to play with this Pocky midliner, though. Very, very generous of Elijah. Oh, big shout out there. And, of course, this will be on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. Shout out to all y'all that checked out the Indes coaching video. I think this one's going to be right up there with it. Exciting times indeed.
All right, back in business.
Welcome back.
Thank you. So, yeah, I mean, on paper, you should be able to get it done with this team.
I think you're right. That one, like, that felt within reach. I just needed to not make that fatal mistake.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like I'm really confident with this frontliner specifically when I get the draw. If I get either Cactus or Hot Butt plus Sirius, or like any combo, I feel really confident playing 3 energy at the beginning, especially against a Sirius on the other side. And it feels so good to play the Hot Butt, and then you feel safe skipping in the second round because you know that they can't Sirius you. That's like the one path that I can visualize where I go, okay, I know exact this kind of like that game. You know, that was like a great start. But once I lose that momentum, like round 3 and on is where I still get stuck in the mental game of, do I pass or do I try to say like, or burn energy and like go for kills? And that's like round 3 and 4 is where I generally throw, I think. And I'm good in the 1v1s, but I feel like I always put myself at a disadvantage in the 1v1s, which makes it a lot harder.
Yeah, 100%. I think you're 100% right about the beginning in terms of your approach, always playing those plant cards, having options in round 2 with the pass potential. And then, if you don't have 3 plant cards, you can just, I think last game you had like 2 and an aqua, high damage aqua card. That's definitely the move. And then, as far as your mid to late game, to be truthful, it's just there's fundamentals that need to be given very special attention to as far as counting energy and paying attention to what your opponent has played. And
Gotcha.
you can't make the right decisions if you don't know what's going on with those 2 things.
Right. Okay. And then,
because you don't know what they're gonna do, you don't know where they're at, you don't know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so the trickiness that I bump into is like against you specifically. That round 3, I'm thinking like, all right, like we got some Nemos hanging. He's got enough energy, and those are the ones where I'm always hesitating. Like, do I play the pumpkin, or am I gonna get got again by like pass, and then round 4 you just like destroy my entire lineup? You know, I'm like so paranoid about wasting stuff when the other side is just resilient as hell and then stacks up all these options. That's what I feel like good players do, at least. You know, is that?
Yeah, well, they know. I mean, they know like what you've done, and they know how much damage potential that you have. So then the decision of do I play pumpkin or not is calculated into that, right?
Yeah,
of like, okay, well here's what they can do.
And when does the deck reset? So like if I see somebody play like pumpkin round 1, pumpkin round 2, how long until I know another pumpkin could potentially cycle back?
It's usually not till like round 6. I mean, and by then, yeah, you're good. You got the green light. If you've seen 2 pumpkins, like you can fire away and you can do it as efficiently as possible usually, because you know that they're gonna have a minimal amount of shield.
Okay. All right. So that's all right. That's in my head. I always used to think about like, I don't really know when the deck reset is, even though I know that's a key moment. And once I lose track of that, I lose confidence in whatever I was thinking about, you know?
It's basically always round 6. It's sometimes
it depends on
round
how
5.
many cards are played, right? That's the variance. Yeah.
It depends on kind of when the tank dies. Because if it dies in like round 1, then your other 2 are going to draw the rest of the deck faster. So like maybe by round 5, it's reset.
Okay. Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. A lot of knowledge going in the noggin today.
Here we go.
I love the That's not Mako. What is it? Sakura? The flower? That's like one of my favorites on tanks, by the way. Just wanted to throw that out there. Great cosmetic choice.
Great cosmetic choice. That's hey,
funny. Man, all things equal, if we're talking ears, I'm going for the pink flower every single time. Again, all things equal.
Go.
After you, I want you to assess my opener here. All right, it worked out pretty well. Pumpkin Serious. Like, should I feel confident opening with that? Like, I kind of hate playing Pumpkin first round, but I feel like it's worth it to gamble on the Serious. Because, like, I generally do want to try to play Serious first round. Like, more often than not, people pass.
Yeah, I think it's not that bad when you're guaranteed to go last. So if he steals, you get to at least steal it back.
Ah, okay. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the key detail.
Yeah. I'd still, it depends on who you're playing against too. Like if you know you're against a double aqua player that always plays cards first, which is a lot of the times the case.
I do generally with double aqua. I try to be aggressive early, all things equal, if I can.
Yeah. Let's see. You played 2. You went to 3. You're at 4.
Okay. Oh, you got hot butt too. Curses. This is the classic, like, I feel like round 3 Zyori. That's going to be like the moniker for me. This is when I throw the game. I actually don't know what the fuck to do right now. Given my cards, I truly don't know what the best option is.
Interesting.
Well, at least I know what to focus on. Round 3 is like my big hurdle right now. This is my
Zyori, how much energy do I have?
I think you have 4, I think.
Nope, incorrect.
Was it 3?
2.
Oh, the Nemo.
So, what do you have? A pumpkin?
I did not have a pumpkin. I had a hot butt and I had a whatever the other damage card was. The cactus. I had a hot butt and a cactus. And my Sirius was disabled.
Okay.
So like, and I still don't have a damn, what is it? Is it risky that gives you the extra damage? So I don't like have this combo on my midliner.
Yeah.
I'm in a really sticky position here.
Yeah, you're in a tough spot.
Yeah.
But that's still 152, which is obviously, you know, great.
It's a lot of damage. Yeah, it's not bad, but
yeah. It's a little too late here, but I also drew really well. I drew all of my high damage bug cards like immediately, which is really fortunate on my end. So that, you know.
Well, yeah, and I think I feel like I drew almost particularly poorly, where I didn't really want to play Pumpkin first turn, but I wanted to play the Sirius, but I got 0 value out of the Sirius, and then I didn't have the Pumpkin when like I actually kind of needed it to do stuff against you. So then my tank did actually nothing, and I ended up getting kind of dead carded on the tank with those 2 draws when I really wanted just the risky on my midliner to do damage. That sounds like an excuse factory, but it was, pretty challenging. It didn't feel like I had great options.
Yeah.
Which happens sometimes, right? That's Axie. So that's card games, right? There's always some card draw element.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see here.
And there's something about, maybe this is just my noobness talking, but I'm weirdly attracted to Rosebud on plant tanks. And I don't know if it's because it's a little bit forgiving, and maybe just in the lower bracket, it's easier to like get value out of the healing.
Yeah, it's not great. it's hard to play, and yeah, it's just, I think the other options are a lot better. I know I think maybe that's could be a bit of your comfort level. Like, you're comfortable with it perhaps because
definitely. It was also just like the first. It was like the first tank I played with was 100. Like Rosebud, Carrot, Pumpkin, Sirius.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean. Like it's common for players to want to deviate back to their comfort teams and not move beyond it, and that can inhibit growth for sure. Like
yeah. So I think I had no winning option here at the end. Like, I had a Cuckoo, but it doesn't matter. I just don't have enough damage.
Yeah.
But it shows the power of the Cuckoo. Like, this looked really dismal at a moment, and it like was almost close at the end. You know, this is a world where in Arena, like, you could totally, if you had made a misplay, like I tend to do, that was very throwable, right? So it does showcase some of the power of this, like, Pocky Cuckoo lineup that you were talking about. Like the fact that was even so close, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. Let's play. You want to play some Arena now? And
sure.
That way we can be on the same team and try to.
Totally. Yeah, let's do it. Let me close out Game Client here and switch over. Let's do it. Yeah, that was still, I think, profoundly helpful, though. It's nice to be able to, like, talk about rounds in real time. Like, okay, I played this. Did I misplay it? You know, kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's how we all get better. You can't do this thing completely on your own, you know? Like, I actually made an effort early on to reach out to Indes and try to gather info, you know what I mean? Like, you got to try you got to try to make an effort to increase your knowledge however you can.
Oh god, watering can. Okay.
Oh wait, I can't see your screen.
Oh, okay, hang on. I'll share real quick. Sorry, I thought I was still sharing. It's my bad. You see it now?
Let's see.
I'd have to refresh there.
What am I doing wrong? Oh, wait. There we go. All right, I'm in.
All right. Watering can, cattail, not so fun with the double aquas.
Yep, but let's, generally I'll let you, or whenever I like work with my guys, I kind of like let you tell me what you do, and then I'll see if I could make an adjustment.
So given these options, I'm inclined just to try to get a little value out of my plant tank. And
I play both risky fish here too.
So just like all three, just big damage?
Yeah.
Is the idea like just try to kill this plant as soon as possible to limit watering can effectiveness?
Pretty much. Like, it's a bit of a risk here playing the two aqua cards, but then again, like, this is sort of what Indes always told me. It was just you still go with it, and you have one plant card to kind of balance it out. It's like not the end of the world. It's obviously pretty bad if he gains 2 energy there, but a lot of players also don't play can round 1.
It seems risky to do that.
Yeah. It's more of an exploit to be making against population.
God, I want to play the prickly, but I think this is just one of those pass turns and let him go, right? Didn't he use?
Do you remember what he like? How many of those were Shoal Stars?
I have no idea.
I would play it with one aqua card at the mid. Yeah.
Okay, so this is one of those times where maybe
okay, whatever. He gets 1 back, but like that's not the end of the world, and you gather a little more value from your tank and avoid a steal anyway that he would have got back anyway.
Right.
And the reason we feel comfortable to play the cactus there is because we saw a lot of aqua cards round 1, or I mean, like we saw like 3, I think. So like should be sort of okay to survive. Yeah.
So here I would be inclined to go pumpkin hot butt, or I guess pumpkin.
I'd be pushing it to the limit here. I'd be trying. I mean, I think you're more likely to see 2 shoals than like 3. Yeah, no, I would be trying like what you were doing.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, right, I would try for that.
And now we're going last this time too.
See, we're good. Look at this value. This is insane value.
Gotta love it when a good pumpkin works out, dude.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
you gotta love it. That's big value.
unfortunate he gets the one last stand, but that's okay. Not the end of the world.
It's actually good because in this scenario he drew more plant cards.
Oh, he gets more dead cards, right? So
yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is a pretty. Do we pass or do we go for the kill with Nemo?
Okay, so he has 4 energy here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need to play, and he what else does he have? You want to kind of guarantee the Nemo value, and if he bursts here for some damage, if he hits you on the mid, you'll go first. You should go first next round, depending on if he has a goldfish or not. But basically, play the cuckoo, and then play the Nemo, the goldfish, and the risky fish.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do the cuckoo to end the last stand.
Yeah.
Okay, that's really smart.
And you're going to get to go first next round because he's going to hit you here.
Right. Okay. So goldfish is good. Now we get the full value out of the Nemo. Get a little extra damage in. And that cuckoo buff just hangs around, so now our backliner is just like primed and ready to go.
Yeah, he is. And you're now at he's at 4 energy. So I think you kind of have to, I don't remember how many midline cards we've seen, but I think we've seen a lot. Is very little shield, but if he even plays, it's unlikely he plays one, but if he does,
I think we need the Nemo just to guarantee things.
No,
right?
you have to do the Nemo, but I think you also have to risk playing a single card. Yeah, maybe not the goal. It's fine, whatever. Running out of time. Play it, yeah. Because what this will come down to as well is in the 1v1. Yeah, this is. But you're still okay, and look, you wouldn't have got the kill, so that's good. Yeah. It sucks with the +2 attack, but it is what it is. And he wastes his coins, not wastes them, but he guarantees to go first next round. However, I believe he only has 3 energy, and it doesn't matter because we can survive this. So it's going to be
cuckoo last here.
No, you're gonna cuckoo. It doesn't really matter, but your main thing here is to make sure that you're faster than him in the next round, which requires also being weaker than him. So actually, yeah, you do the cuckoo last here.
Okay, yeah, I that was my kind of thought. So something like this, right?
And because he has shoal, you should end up being weaker. You should end up going. What's his ID? 7. Damn, that's a low ID.
That's a really low ID.
But yeah, you have to. I think you have to do this. If he only has 3.
Yeah. Okay.
He does only have 3.
We're okay.
We fucked this up. But you might actually.
I might be okay.
Oh no, because you played.
Bum. Oh, yeah, it's gonna be intense.
You both have the +5, but you have.
I got +5. He's got +4. There it is. So now we go. All right, I guess you mix the cuckoo in. Is it like this?
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter at all. Okay.
No,
yeah, I guess. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't matter. I was too excited.
Boom.
Wow, close one.
So that's a situation where, like, if I knew for a fact that he had 3 energy, +20.
It's pretty good.
Anyway, things get tricky with the aqua 1v1s, and sometimes it's a matter of I don't quite remember what happened in that game, but like sometimes it's a matter of using your high shield cards and doing minimal damage to them, so your aqua's weaker if you know you're both going to have the same speed bonus, which sounds kind of counterintuitive.
Because the weaker one always goes first?
Yeah, exactly. So I was kind of worried about some sort of situation like that, but we got it done.
Well, I had the extra buff, so it just didn't matter at all. Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
That makes sense. All right, that's good. Oh, here we go. This is the classic. Look at this. Elijah, a cottontail beast, the rimp there, the single nutcracker. Yeah. The backdoor bird, although it doesn't have the, what's that 0 cost one? Post-flight?
Post-fight.
I like that one. And this is a Zyori tank right here. This is my old classic. So, well, that's a low ID also. All right. I should be able to pummel this team. All right. This is your classic, what do you call it?
This is like we're licking our chops. We're going, oh yeah, this guy's playing Beast Bird. Okay, so this is we're pretty happy about this. We're not out of the woods though because he's got the back door on the bird, so we have to kind of be smart about that. But we're not worried about it in round 1 for sure.
Do we want to play out all energy at Fear of Sirius? That's my thought here.
So
Oh, we go last.
I normally would, but because it's a heal tank and we go last, I would just, in the sense that we're going to be fine on steals in this round, I would just play those two. And then, yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. There's the
All right,
Cottontail.
So yeah, he'll take 2, but those are out of the way now. So he goes back to, he actually goes up to 5. Or sorry, I'm sorry. He goes back up to 3.
So he should have.
But then we steal 1, so he should be at 4.
He's at 4. We're at 3. That's the current count.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're last again. Definitely want to play some prickly. I think that's it, right? Just a single prickly.
No, I don't think you want to do that because you haven't seen a pumpkin, a carrot, or a heal yet. So it could just be like not phenomenal. I'd probably.
So with the heal, the thought is always just try to conserve in one tap. Is that kind of the like, just kill it so it can't get value out of healing?
Yeah, there's an argument for a pumpkin cactus here. I don't really think it's optimal. I would try to get away with a pass. But play your cuckoo just to be safe on the back.
Oh, for the back door?
Yeah, just in case you got a lucky draw.
Okay.
So there's a pumpkin. See, now we're in better shape. Now we're a little more confident in going after him.
Yeah, the pumpkin carrot is scary. Like his brick is really nasty if he wants to.
Yeah, he really has brick wall potential. So now he's up to 5 energy.
So we're down Eve. All right, so this is the big turn, round 3. Always tempted to go for the kill on the tank here, but he could still have another pumpkin.
The issue here is that we're sort of forced into doing it because of the increasing threat of the bird.
Yes. So do we cover it with like stuff like this, or is that just stupid? That's not enough shield.
I think what you do is go.
Like go for
4, yeah, and then play the other one, and then I wouldn't have played the pumpkin. I would have played the Pocky. Okay.
Like that?
Yeah.
Interesting. 2 on the bird. He splits it. I guess he's got a big beast combo here.
Yeah. But this should be flush since he did nothing, and then at least you do some damage on that beast. Now he had 5. Looks like he's going to get all of them in. Okay. Oh, wow. He really blew that hard. Playing the imps with no Ronin. Not a good look.
No last stand, though. Bummer.
So let's think about this, Zyori. Now that we know that he's at 2 energy, what are you feeling?
I can't kill this beast this turn. My gut is always to like, I want to get energy out of this tail slap. I think that we pass here because he's going to be more likely to pass because he...
Okay, play the Nemo and the 2 aqua cards at the mid.
These like this?
Yeah, you definitely can kill this beast if he sits around and does nothing.
This is a guaranteed kill if he doesn't do anything?
Yeah.
Okay, my math is terrible.
The order wasn't right there though, just because you wanted to end with the Nemo, but you should be kind of.
You want to end with the Nemo?
Yeah, to knock out 2 last stand bars.
Oh, okay, I see.
But the point I was trying to make last round was that with 2 energy, you're safe to play your midline cards and get value before he has 4 energy and can kill your midline.
Oh, okay. When you know it's reset like that, that's your moment. Because he's so combo reliant.
You got there safely, which is pretty rare against a bird. Normally they have post fight or some way to keep, but you had the green light to get value. Now you need to do 2. Unfortunately, you have to play this, right? Both kois. Play both kois.
Oh, both kois.
Yeah, and then I think that's it. You hold the energy, so if you end up with 3, he's gonna. Oh, interesting.
Okay, well. That worked out
well
for us.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's really fine. That's more than fine. That's like the dream. All right, now this is...
Now we're in trouble. It depends on if he tries to go backdoor or not.
All right, let me think about what I would do here.
Actually, you're good no matter what because he's so energy deficient.
Yeah, he's got no energy gain. He's like kind of forced...
I think he has 4 energy, but... he won't have enough in the next round. So anyway, yeah, what would you do?
I'd be tempted to do that. That would be my first thought.
Yeah, for sure. So if he kills you here, if he kills your, let's see. Yeah, I guess you do that.
Because if he kills this guy, I'm still like, it's a 1v1 where we'll both have 2 energy. And if he
kills your
backdoors,
backline, you win here. And then if he kills, okay, he tries to go front. Although that might be enough with the risky feather.
Ooh,
nope, you're good.
Oh,
let's go.
All right,
basically he can't have his cake and eat it too with the amount of limited resources, because you would have survived like another 3-card attack next round with your backline anyway with the cuckoos. So you were kind of covering all situations.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That one worked out all right. Yeah, the Cottontail Beast. I have like a line of it. I feel so bad giving it to Scholars because I actually don't think it's that great. But you know, there's worse things out there, I suppose. But
people are saying 3 energy in the chat. You're forgetting he had Cottontail. So he was at 4. He played 2 cards. The third could have easily have been a Cottontail, which would have meant he was at 4 that round.
Oh yeah.
So that's what was happening there. You didn't get to see what B's cards he played.
True.
It died. But I guarantee you one was a Cottontail.
True.
He wouldn't have just wasted 3 energy with a beast that was in last stand. He might have tried to waste 2 though. But anyway, sorry, what were you saying?
I can't remember. That was whatever you were talking about was more interesting. All right, let's try another one here. I'm liking this though. I'm starting to get the hang of this lineup. Ooh,
yeah,
we're
doing great.
A little like
so
mirror matchup here.
Not even a mirror matchup.
Well,
you have
no
the infinitely superior version of this.
Yes. This is Carrot. Okay, so Shoal Star is the no last stand. Yep, okay. Well, no what do you do with this opener when you get no plant cards? Do I go for this crazy boom boom boom?
Yeah, so I mean, in line with everything we've said this session, absolutely.
I think so. I think that's the play.
Yeah.
Oh, and he didn't even carrot. Oh, I love it.
Big damage.
Wow. That's just fantastic.
Ooh. Yeah.
So now I imagine we double serious, eh?
Yeah, 100%. You cannot go wrong with this.
Because we go last, right? So even if he like does anything, like we're totally good.
Yeah. And also like
if he just single carrots, then we still get value. Nice.
Exactly. If he's single carrots, it's terrible for him. You're still stealing 2.
Okay.
So yeah, I think people tend to freak out like this, but like if those are 2 Nemos, they are, because it's unlikely he has 4 like all the damage, right? So
yeah,
2 Nemos. I think you will. Oh man, please last stand.
Oh,
yes,
beautiful.
Let's go. Maximum value.
Okay.
Now I believe he got 2 back, which we stole, but the carrot gives him another 1, so he's at 3.
All right. So here.
But he used literally all his cards, Zyori.
Have we seen the pumpkins though? So like that's what like is this what you do here? You don't even need the Nemo. Do you just throw like?
Let me see. I was looking at chat. No, I would go Nemo and Goldfish.
Right.
And then probably one risky and then a cuckoo after. You're kind of covering everything here.
Is the okay? So there's the pumpkin.
So there we go.
Man, you were so right. See, I read it right, and then I was kind of like, well, now what do? I just needed some extra damage in the back.
It's always just safe to split like that, right? So So now he goes back to 4.
And we still have a 1 energy advantage. So single Pocky. I think like our Cuckoo goes first, and we got 2 damage. Do we just go for the kill and try to blow up this Nemo?
Yeah, I don't even think you need all of those. I'd probably hold the... Let me think. So I think if you go like Cuckoo first and go +3 attack, and then maybe like... Yeah, that's a kill. We're running a little dry on cards, but I mean... That's definitely going to get it done.
We have some limited options. He passes entirely, so now he's going to have a big energy advantage.
He will. He's going to try to burst you 4 and 4, which is a little scary.
Dude, that 3x, man, or the 3 attack boost, 200 damage.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, so he now has 6. He's going to try and burst you 4 and 4, but because of the cuckoos, we should be hopefully redraw and be good. So you just
So
have to pass here. I think you can even you can, like, you're so, what's the word? You're so have so much energy. I think, does 20 shield keep you alive versus a 3-card attack? I think it does. You might as well just
it
do
feels
this.
worth it to try.
Yeah,
because
yeah. He'll get the speed advantage with the, if you do hit him, but that's you. If you're alive, it's good. But yeah, you're not going to be, but that's fine.
No.
So now he'll go 4. But okay, that's not bad. So what would you do here?
I'm trying to think if the order matters. Do you cuckoo first, and then we have to go first next turn, right? So do we just go all speed? Is this right?
Yeah, 100%. Maybe end with the cuckoo, because like I said, just in case it's a weird, like if you both end up with the same amount, you want to be weaker. So doing less damage is kind of good here.
This weird. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's like good. First checkbox is you want to go faster in this situation. After that, it's like,
that's the only checkbox, really.
Yeah. Or well, I guess I mean with like the buffs and shit. Am I gonna live here?
Yeah, by 6 HP.
Oh yeah, we've seen this pattern before.
Let's go.
Oh.
Got him.
Oh.
He tried to get you, but he ended up getting got. He tried to get you with the
oh my.
He tried to get you with the 4 and 4, but we're not gonna let that shit slide.
So you just play out, right?
We're not gonna get got by the 4 and 4. Not today.
Not today. Man, you sniped it though. That is exactly what he was going for.
Yeah.
It is really satisfying to like figure out the aqua versus aqua at the end, and you have that, like, you see the path. You know, it's, you ever go rock climbing where you climb the wall and you see the path and you're like, all right, I got to make the jump, but that is the path. That's what aqua speed is like at the end. You know, you see the journey to victory.
Exactly, because it's kind of scary. You're like, oh shit, am I okay? Like, should I kill? Like you said, but most times when you're both like fully have a full clip right there, you know, you kind of have to go the route we just went.
I can't believe how good Pocky is for just like such a little damage difference. God, man, seriously, every time we talk in my head, I think, I know it's a game of inches. How's Elijah going to blow my mind today? And like every time there's something that I learn. It's like same when I talk to Indes and all you guys that are like on that elite level. It's, God, the little nuances. And like, I wouldn't have noticed it necessarily, but playing these matches, like I can feel it. I can see those moments where it's like, oh, wow, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, man, 100%. It's a wild game. There's a reason that it captivates really, you know, bright competitive players. It's because there's all this depth and the satisfaction of reading situations and outplaying and getting it right is very rewarding, right? That's kind of why. And even for the people who are new, who struggle, like there's still something in there when they're learning that once it starts to click a little bit and they stop getting wrecked as bad as they do when they first start, you know, it's like, damn, this is awesome. Like this feels really good. And that's kind of what gets people to keep going.
Yeah. No, it very much has that feeling of like Dota or League where it's overwhelming at first and you don't even like have a frame of reference to understand how bad you are. But then like when you get that first kill or like that first time you're like, hey, I know that character. That character has a stun. I'm going to like anticipate that and I'm going to counter it and be ready. Like the first time you get that sequence of neurons to fire, you're like hooked. You know, that's the dopamine hit of like, oh shit. And that opens Pandora's box, and there you go. And that's exactly what those kind of aquas are like. But damn. All right. Well, we're at the 2-hour mark, Elijah. So I don't want to take up too much of your time. I know you're super busy. I feel like I've just jammed so much info into my head. I almost need to like digest some of this. But wow. Again, thank you for this Pocky Nemo Aqua. This thing is like, I can't wait to climb the ranks with this. I'm so motivated right now. I got to do a session tonight.
Hell yeah, man. Have fun with that and like get after it. You know, there's like I said, there's just so much. And like you're starting to get that feeling with these aquas because it's you're getting more experience with the team. But the cool thing about Axie is you can do this with all the other teams. Beast Bird with Eggshell, outplaying your opponent, drawing them in. Really, Eggshell on any team. Cute Bunny, Reptiles. There's just all those different variations that you get to explore and have that fun with. So they made it's a brilliant project. What can I say?
And I think it's only going to get better. Not just the universe, but version
Right.
1. This is us. This is version 1 of battles, and by definition, I think it's just going to get better from here. And
agreed. Yeah, that's the crazier thing is like this is. I mean, we all really enjoy this, but like it's only going to improve.
Yeah, and it's moving. Like the PvP seasons have been great, but the next level of esports kind of requires another layer of calibration. I'm sure we're going to figure out some sort of like drafting system, where it's like you bring 15 Axies to a tourney or something, or some way to calibrate that. And I mean, that adds a whole nother layer too, if you're able to sort of like ban other people's Axies or something. There's a lot of stuff we can do in the future. But,
very cool. I love that idea.
Yeah. We just got to figure out how to calibrate it. But folks, you know where to find it for the most part. He's ElijahCTG. He's everywhere. He's slaying it on YouTube. Axie to the moon. Dude,
Zyori, Axie on the moon.
Oh, I'm so sorry. We're on the moon. There it is. Dude, you ever need me over there, I'd be happy to do a guest spot. I know that interview you did with Jiho was pretty popular and anticipated. I checked it out. It was some good stuff. If you ever need some Zyori bandwidth, you know where to find me, man. You've got access to my calendar, so dangerous territory for me.
Yeah, I'd love to have you on there sometime. That would be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Elijah. I appreciate you, man. Keep slaying it. And congrats again on the win in the first tournament, and I'm sure we'll see you back again in the Axie Esports realm when we have more events coming up.
For sure. All right, I'll catch you later.
Cool. See you later, buddy.
Bye.
All right. Well, there it is, folks.